Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Ryan. I have cerebral palsy and I've used a walker my entire life. One of the things I've experienced having a disability is that there are some people out there that have really low expectations for you. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why that's actually a really great thing and how you can use low expectations to your advantage. I remember when I was in 8th grade and I had a conversation with a relative, and this relative sat me down and said, Ryan, you're never going to be able to drive a car normally. You're always going to have modifications, and you're never going to be able to do it like everyone else. I remember feeling offended by that. And not for the fact that the relative assumed that I would need hand gears or whatever, but for the fact that here's somebody who is placing a limitation on me. How do you know that I can't drive normally? How do you know that I'm going to need modifications? I haven't even tried yet. Who are you to place this limitation on me? You have really low expectations of me. And it really rubs me the wrong way. There was another situation that I had years later when I moved to Los Angeles. I just got into LA. I was at the North Hollywood metro station and the elevator was out. The elevator that went down to the platform was out, and I had to go to work. I saw one of the metro workers there and I was like, hey, is there any way you could help me down the stairs or down the escalator, because the elevator's out and there's no way around it? He looked at me dead in the eye and he goes, why don't you ask your caretaker to help you? I was like, what? I wish I had someone to take care of me. Like, really, dude? Not everyone with a disability has a caretaker. And it was just like, wow, you really have low expectations of me. The thing that I've learned from both of those stories in retrospect is that there's actually a huge opportunity when people have low expectations for you. And it's a thing that I call expectation arbitrage. So if you don't know what arbitrage is, it's basically when you buy something low and you sell it at a higher price. For example, when I was in high school, I would buy cheap things on eBay and then I would flip it for double the price or triple the price. And then I would pocket the rest. So that's arbitrage. The same thing is actually true with people and their expectations of you. When someone has a low expectation of you, that's basically them pricing you low. You have the opportunity to make a huge profit when you prove them wrong. The difference is you don't profit money, but what you profit in is self-belief. In my driving experience, for example, when I started learning how to drive and I got my temporary license, I didn't have modifications in my parents' car. I just learned how to drive my parents' car. When I actually got my driver license, I felt really, really good. Not just because you got your driver's license at 16, that's really cool too, but because I had proved my relative wrong. It wasn't like I had to rub it in their face. It was more of a quiet, yeah, I did that. I think one of the most powerful things in life is when you prove people wrong. I think it's one of the most powerful motivating forces that people don't really talk about. Being able to prove people wrong, it's nice. It's a really good feeling when you prove people wrong. And what happens is when you prove somebody wrong with something small, like getting your driver's license and not having to have all these crazy modifications, even something small like that compounds. There's this quote, supposedly from Einstein. I don't know if he ever said it, but it was like something to the extent of compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. I don't actually know if he said that, but that applies directly to what I'm talking about with expectation arbitrage. Every time you profit off of someone's low expectations, that compounds. You start taking on bigger risks. You start believing in yourself a little more. You start to think, well, I could do that. Well, maybe I could do this. So what starts to happen is it starts to have a snowballing effect. And at some point, people start to stop and they say, what's this person doing differently? What's this person doing that I'm not doing? And that's how you turn other people's low expectations into a massive advantage. If this video resonated with you, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time.